Hey everybody, Ben Johnson here. Welcome to week 8. Just one more week of work, and then you'll have a week to hopefully rest and relax during spring break. This week we continue our second week of investing, and we'll spend the next few weeks on it after spring break as well, because this is where you're going to really be able to grow your wealth. So I'd like to start this week with a question. Can a humble K-12 teacher make $300,000 a year? What do you think? I've been a humble K-12 teacher for the last 30 years of my life. The key to answering that question rests in this infographic. You'll see this a lot throughout the rest of the semester. When most of us get paid, we just turn around and eat all of that pay. If you can have the discipline to go ahead and invest 10 or 15% of your pay when you're a brand new teacher, after about 10 years, you'll have the sapling. After about 20 years, you'll have a small tree. And then after 30 or 40 years, because of the miracle of compound interest, you'll have a fruit-bearing tree that will make more money than you can make working full-time yourself. How does it work? It's the magic of compounding interest. Those first 5 years that you're teaching until that tree is growing into a small sapling, most of the money is going to be in your contributions, and only a small part will be the growth on those contributions. But fast forward 30 or 40 years, only a very small part of your wealth will be from the contributions that you made, and most of it will be the growth of those contributions. So keep this in mind. It takes time, so be patient. And if you're older, that might just mean you'll need to work a bit longer. Or certainly if you're working with your own kids or young people, make sure that they understand this. Super important. So here are actual account statements for my retirement plans as a teacher. We have a 401k option and a 457b option. I've been putting as much money as I can into those retirement accounts. And so I just wanted to show you over the past year, the 401k that I've got grew $177,000, and my 457b that I have grew $86,000. And if you add those numbers up, it's something like $264,000. And then if you add my salary on top of that, I made well over $300,000 as a humble K-12 teacher last year. But this happened largely because I planted those seeds early in my career, and I gave compound interest a chance to work. And then fast forward 30 years later, and you can see that the gains on these accounts is quite nice. Now, last year was a unusually good year for the stock market, so some years growth won't be this large, and in fact, some years you may actually lose money, and that's just part of how the stock market works. And as long as you don't need that money immediately, that's okay. In fact, it's good, because while you're contributing out of your paycheck every month, you're essentially buying stocks on sale on those years that the market is down. And so as a young person listening to this right now, probably the best thing that you can hope for is a big stock market crash, so that when you're buying stocks the next few years, you're getting them on sale. So you'll see this infographic later this week. How did I accomplish that? Did I know some magical secret to beat the market or something like that? The answer is no. You will have the opportunity through your retirement accounts, hopefully at work, or your Roth IRA, or even your after-tax brokerage account that you set up. You can choose these very low fee total index funds. And so most of my wealth is tied up in this fund, VTSAX. That's Vanguard Total Stock Market. It's just an index fund that has the 3,600 publicly traded U.S. companies in it. And so you can see that it's performed almost identically to many others. Fidelity's total market funds are down here, these two funds, Fidelity Total US Market, and you can see that they've performed very similarly to Vanguard's. And then you'll have Charles Schwab, same thing. So just by picking a simple total US stock market fund, you can do very well for yourself without any complicated strategies. The ones with the 3 letters, these are ETFs, exchange traded funds. They're very much like these mutual funds. So VTI is the exchange traded fund for VTSAX. The benefit of these is sometimes you can get into them with less money. To get into VTSAX, you need to have $3,000 to start. With VTI, you only need a couple $100 to start. So otherwise, they work and perform nearly identical. The S&P 500 funds are shown here too. So VTSAX is total stock market. That's 3,600 publicly traded companies. On the other hand, though, VOO, that's their S&P 500. So that would just be the 500 largest US companies. But you can see their performance is very similar. So don't get too caught up in whether you pick a total US stock market like VTSAX or the S&P 500 like VOO. They're going to perform very similarly. So usually I will pick the one that has the lower fees. And if all of this is confusing you and you don't have enough background information yet, that's okay, because we'll be talking about this stuff the next few weeks. And I hope that by the end of the investing unit, all of this stuff will begin to make a lot more sense and become clearer to you. All right, have a great week, everybody. I do appreciate all of the effort that you've put in. I hope that you're learning lots. I hope this will make your financial future brighter. And once you get through this week, you can rest and relax for a week, because we'll take the week of spring break off. Have a great week, everybody.